Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's your boy McKinley Crain here. And today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of the 2004 horror drama slash thriller Secret Window. So this movie is based on a Stephen King short story, and this movie stars Johnny Depp as Mort Rainey, who is like an author who is like going through a divorce, and who had just recently caught his wife cheating on him, and who is, really down in the dumps. And he's very well performed. He's a hilarious character. He has a great sense of humor. You know, Johnny Depp always tries to add some humor into his into like the characters that he plays, into like the personalities of the characters that he plays. And he's great in here. He's terrific. He's awesome. Like, he's a very entertaining character. Anyway, so, Mort Rainey is like an author who's down in the dumps. He's got writer's block. He's trying to write a new novel, but, he's got writer's block. So, like, he doesn't know what to write. And then one day, randomly, someone knocks on his door and claims that, he copied, like, one of their stories and used it for one of his stories, and that person is John Shooter, who is played by John Turturro. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And he's also excellent in this movie. He gives a very excellent performance as this movie's villain. And so basically, moving on, when Mort Rainey proves him wrong and says, no, actually, like, I published my story first, pal. John Shooter doesn't, like, get over it, and he, I think, doesn't really believe it either. Secretly believes that he's, like, well, not secretly, but, like, he just believes he's right no matter what. So basically, John Shooter keeps basically trying to, like, mess up Mort Rainey's life and, like, emotionally harm him and do bad things to the people he loves and stuff like that. If they don't come to a compromise, and, well, actually, if Mort Rainey doesn't write, like, a book for John Shooter in, like, John Shooter's name, like, so, like, John Shooter can publish it. And then the other option was that, like, if Mort Rainey could, like, actually get a hold of the magazine that had the story in it and show it to John Shooter and prove that he was wrong, then, like, it would be off. But if, like, he couldn't do those things, then, like, it would just keep going on and on forever. And this is a very entertaining film. It can be very dark, it can be very light. It's perfectly balanced. It's a very underrated film in my opinion. And I can understand why people don't like it, but I don't really agree with them. Like, I can understand why they don't like it, but I don't agree with them, like, on, like, disliking, because I like it. I love this movie. Like, this movie, this movie's big twist is not, like, exactly original. I mean, like, there have been other movies that have done this type of twist that this movie does. And, there have been other movies that have specifically done this kind of twist better than this film did, but, who cares? Who cares if the twist had, like, been used before in other movies? I mean, I figured out what the twist was, like, pretty quickly into the movie, like, about 20 minutes into the movie. I didn't figure out, like, every little single detail about the twist, but I figured out basically the huge twist. And that's not because this movie is predictable. It's predictable in a good way, a little bit, but, like, it's because, I've seen a lot of, like, like, mystery films and stuff like that. So, like, I've gotten pretty good at, like, figuring out twists and, like, big reveals before they even happen. I don't always get them, but, like, a lot of the times I will, and a lot of times I won't. Like, a lot of the times I will figure them out beforehand, and a lot of times I won't. And I know that this movie's twist isn't original for those of you who have seen the movie and are probably just like, well, it just basically steals, like, that same twist from other movies. Well, so what? So, it earns the twist. It earns its twist. And, it builds up to its twists. It builds up to its twist in, like, a clever and a fulfilling way. It earns the twist. Like, what other twist would make sense for this movie? What other twist would? It's still, like, it's still an amazing, awesome twist, even though it's not, like, very original. It still works. I get that, like, some people, like, for some people everything has to be, like, completely original, but, who cares? I'm not one of them. Like, I love originality in movies, but, like, sometimes in a movie, like, you have to reuse, well, not exactly reuse, but you have to, like, borrow ideas from other source material to, like, better benefit your movie, for the sake of benefiting your movie. And, it's, the kind of twist in this movie has been used before, like, had been used before, like, a couple of times. But, like, this movie takes that kind of twist and uses it in its own, like, unique and creative and original way. And, it's a great twist, even though it's not original. Like, it's, this movie's twist, like I said, this movie's twist works, and like, you know, it's the only twist that could work. It's the only twist that, you know, would actually feel, and does actually feel, built up to, and fulfilling. And this movie is no masterpiece. It's not perfect, but it is a great movie, and it is worth a watch. And I'm going to give this movie an 86% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of an A-. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.